Sorry. Hold on. Hi everybody. We had a long night. So I saw Libby posted a whole bunch of things, and I was just like, I promised that I would do it last week, and that didn't happen. It's snowing. It, by the way, the highest sky at Asian Sky House. It's actually, I think it stopped snowing again by this point. The weather out here is crazy. So firstly, I have to show off Kettle being fucking cute. She finally decided to wear a little dress for once, and yeah, I know you don't have your bunny, I'm sorry. I love this little rabbit thing, like, and the fact that her hand can usually kind of hold it because of the magnet is just great. But, so, she's got, like, her little dress going on. She went out with me and BB out to Grumpy's, Cafe Grumpy's in Chelsea yesterday to meet up with my friend, well, both of our friends, Adrian, who we've both known for quite some time. Let me just sit her here. Who we've known for a while. And we don't see much, despite the fact that
we live just across the river.
We live just across, well, and he lives across the river. So, like, for those of you that, well, yeah, well, so those of you that don't know how New York City and Brooklyn and, like, Jersey City works. So, you've got,
Staten Island.
And Staten Island,
all the
things.
islands.
Jersey City is often called, like, the sixth borough of New York City, and I don't know about that, and nor do I want to become the sixth borough of New York City, and nor could that happen. But it's going in that direction. Like, Jersey City is, like, literally across the water from New York City. It's, I mean, like, we see the sky, like, the New York City skyline is like,
Statue of Liberty from our
we can see the Statue of Liberty from our apartment. Like, we can see the WTC building from our apartment. Like, the New York City skyline is our view, which is really, really nice. And it's not like a view in the distance. It's like, oh, can I just walk to that? And the only reason I can't walk into downtown New York City is because the Hudson River is between us, which isn't even that big of a fucking river. I mean, it's big, but but so it's like a 5-minute ride on the train over, and the PATH train is something that connects Jersey City to New York City. And New Yorkers use New York City as well to get around for, certain parts of it. But so, we went over there. Yeah, there's baby setting up dolls. We went over there, we met up with Adrian, we had coffee, we came back to the house. We did art stuff and talked. We more have talked than anything for a nice long while, which is good because
4 a.m.
So 4 a.m. Because we've known Adrian a while. Yeah, it was a long night of talking. We talked also about, like, Adrian. He's been to Anthrocon a couple times. I've been once. I love Anthrocon. It's the queerest, whatever the fucking convention ever. I love it. It makes me so happy, and, like, I can't wait to go and, like, bring dolls and shit like that too. But, like, it's just so cool because it's not even just, like, the convention center, but everything around the convention center, like all the shops and everything, and everyone there are just like, this is what happens every year, and everybody's completely fine with, like, gender whatever the fuck, and just, like, everybody's expression being all over the place, and it's just, like, it's awesome. Sadly, we're not making it this year because we have to be trying to not spend massive amounts of sorry, Kettle.
He says as
you're getting there. Try not to be spending massive amounts of money. Adrian's still going, I think, and is like, we're not rooming together. I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I want to be, but next year we'll all go. We'll have a fun time. So that was going on. That was also kind of date night for me, because me and Adrian are interesting friend things. Pushes my buttons all the time. I'm gonna sock him in the face, and that's part of the fun. And then this can't be too long because I have a FaceTime date with somebody else that I know very well that I miss. So when he was over, brought things belated for my birthday. This is one of them. This is a reference to Fee, one of mine, who eventually will get shelled. And then I'm gonna, because problems. Fee is a hot pink fox, and also is like, also a normal girl, hard femme deity thing. Basically, Amy, here's some art of Fee stuff. Oh my god. Yes, that's a third eye and a vagina on the forehead. It's all the things. There's so much symbolism going on in this house with everything. Basically, Amy was this girl that dated Lee. Completely, there's a lot of inappropriate situations in most of my system because the type of stuff I grew up around, and it's my way of coping with life stuff and boobly boo. If nobody knows what the fuck that boobly boo is from, you need to watch Black Books. It's amazing. I promise you, if you're having a terrible day, it will probably help. It's also a really good way of Bernard is very much like Lee. So Lee and Amy dated for a period of time. And then Lee ended up murdering Amy because there's a lot of that going on in my system stuff. So for those of you that are new here, it's always a trigger warning. So heads up. Between my conversations about being genderqueer and like mixed and trans and all the things and what life is like because of that, but also because of all my people, like Kettle is massive trigger warning stuff and will eventually get talked about more. Massive trigger warning stuff. But K is massive trigger warning stuff. Anyways, so Amy died. Lee proceeded to also off himself in his car like immediately afterwards. Sorry, Kettle. And so the whole thing is a lot of the people for us internally are undead cyborgs, or they just come back and stuff like that. It's the whole thing of like, until you deal with your cyclic issues, life is a repetitious hell, and you may not realize it until you handle your shit. It's why Silent Hill, when I was growing up, was very, and still is, very soothing for me, which is a funny thing for people to hear, because they're like, Silent Hill is not soothing. But when I started playing those games when I was like, I think the first one came out when I was like 15 or something like that, I don't remember. I was like, oh, this is how my head is, this is really nice, because by that point, I was already so messed up as a person, like, 15, enough had gone on by then. But so because of that, like, there is a lot of people come back and stuff, and so additionally, Fee, Amy has also come back, and that nobody ever dies. It's funny, because we were watching this morning, it's quantum and energy and yada yada yada, and like physical plane only means so much, and the thing is, everybody doesn't only deal with the one physical plane, the mundane plane that we deal with here, nor do we deal with only just here, and in my opinion, nobody just deals with this, but most people are more focused on this because they're so stressed out by this that there's no way for them to pay attention to anything else. Anyways, it's funny, this morning we were watching the Death and Return of Superman skit, so it's just the funny of like, oh, death, what does death actually mean? Ha ha ha. But so Fee is all of that more concentrated power and rage of Amy, who was a teenager when she died. Fee is the thing, is the phoenix that came back from that, and is just this like burning inferno of just raw power, and because of that can be, to a lot of people, completely unhinged, but she's not. It's just she runs on her spectrum of, this is the way I function, and fuck every constraint put to me by the way I'm supposed to behave because I'm a little fucking girl. Like, fuck all of you. And additionally, like, she deals with a lot of dudes who then are like, oh, well, you're such a strong woman, blah, and she's like, don't fucking box me and fuck you. And it's just like, so... but Sophie, that's why this happened. And Fee actually, like, showed back up where, Alistair was over Lee's trailer, and they were out. Lee was out at the tree where he buried Amy after all the horrible stuff, and is like standing there tending that garden area, and Fee just proceeds to climb down out of the goddamn tree, and just more hell broke loose from there. Also, this got given to me, so it says 0 fox given, and so this is a really fun combo of like Lee stuff because of the sunglasses, and Clay stuff. One of my people Clay. I have 2 because I also got another Clay from Josh from forever ago, and well, not forever ago, like months ago, who's over there with Manx. So this is amusing, and it needs to go in the fridge. He also gave us these adorable little... I read nonstop because I'm a fucking Ravenclaw. I would be a Slytherin, but power annoys me. I don't have time to be chasing power. It just comes to me, so why would I bother? And also Slytherins, a lot of Slytherins, not all, but plenty of Slytherins are very aristocratic, and also have these specific self-esteem issues that make them feel they have to chase power to deal with like the need of power to feel better about themselves or whatever. And it's not, no, sorry, not my deal. I'd rather be reading a book. But so these are adorable, and they have trees that correlate on them. Look at the little black tree with the hearts. I can't deal with it. And the little doggy tree with the bones, and like it's all just so fucking cute. So this is where it gets intense, and there's some cat hair on it because we have cats and Adrian has a cat. So there's this one. Everything was very Axum crew, which means wolf, stuff, which is Alistair and Lee and Anthony's crew, and actually Amy and Fee hang out with that crew and are part of that crew, and Kay is a part of that crew. A lot of people are. There's a lot of separate crews that kind of overlap internally. They're just the people that hang out together, but if you ever see Lampshades on Fire by Modest Mouse, that is a really good description of how that group rolls. And this one, and then this is one that, well, actually I'll show this one first. This one, which I started putting the stitching on the side slowly. I want it to be really messy looking. This is gonna go onto a fun jacket. Baphomet stuff and grounding in earth and root. Ah ha ha ha. Yay. And then this one, Adrian was flat out like, it made me think of Alistair and stuff that he has worn. And I was just like, oh my god. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So this is probably going to be going on my hat. I'm going to be cutting it so it actually fits like appropriately to this part. Because yeah. And yes, this is a Jiffy Lube hat, and it's more than anything queer joke stuff and quantum things. But anyways, so I'm not gonna be on here much longer. I also want to show off, this is not finished at all, but so far this is how my Pinky Cooper's face is turning out. I'm gonna be whitening up a lot of that hard blush, but it's coming along fun, and the lips have to really get worked on, and yada yada. There's so much left to go, so much, but I'm happy with how she's starting to turn out. I love this doll so much. And so then also, so I ordered a doll in mind, oh my god, Lorena. Is it Lorena? Or is it, it's Lorena?
Yeah,
okay.
Lorena.
Because I keep seeing that one around and I caved. And they had them on sale right now. So, I did that because I realized that's going to be Ilk's head, I-L-K. I don't know if I made a video at all talking about Ilk. That my Queena that was and am still going to be ordering at some point, the Queena head was supposed to be for Ilk. And I plan to get the jointed hands with it, but I might hold off on getting the body with jointed hands because I'm gonna see if oh my god, Doll Legend or Legend Doll or something like that, they have long fingernailed, even more jointed hands, and I'd love to see if those fit on the Doll Chateau kid bodies, because if it does, I will absolutely go that route. But so I got that head, and then I was planning to order the Quina next, and the Lance head is going to hold off for now. Aaron has to decide if they want the Quina head or if they want the Lance head, because I'd really not like to get Aaron two heads. The thing is, Aaron is a spoiled brat and therefore may get two heads. We will see what happens. I have no idea. The Quina body is going to Ilk though, which means I eventually would be getting a Doll Chateau kid boy body to go for Aaron. But this may all be derailed because one of my Grail dolls showed up on Instagram last night on sales. And yeah. So it's the I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. It's the Acel, Radicel and Rhubarb faces. And somebody else, so I saw this, I contacted the person last night, I asked them, I was like, I'm gonna sleep on it. They're like, there are other people that are also thinking it over, so if they get back to me first and they say yes, then obviously they get it. I was like, that's perfectly fine, that's life doing its thing. I'm really big on life doing its thing, so that's fine. I also have been planning on holding off and getting the Queen of Body because I want to be continuing to save money, etc., etc. But things do what they're gonna do. So I sat down and pulled some tarot cards because I always, nowadays, when I see a doll I'm like, and I'm really on the fence, I'm just like, I'm gonna pull a card to help me self-reflect.
And 9 times out of 10, it's like, you know what you're gonna do.
Well, because by the time I get the card, by the time I pull up the card, I do know what I'm gonna do, and then it does what a tarot card does, which is going, you know what you are gonna do, like you know what intuitional feels you have to go with, and you either are gonna do the thing or not. We will see if, because I contacted this morning, they're like, there's one other person that needs to get back to me. If they obviously want her, they get her. I'm perfectly fine with that. But that is one of my like grail dolls. So we'll see what happens with that. And if not, then I still am going to get the head for Ilk, take care of doing all that, and then over time get the body. Because the thing is, Kay's body should be here within hopefully this month.
By the end of March.
Yeah. We got it off of Dolk, and we have, yeah, it's been 3 months. We have that, and he has a island doll, one of the little goats.
It was like, those were the first dolls that were ordered.
Yeah, those are the first dolls we ordered, period. And like, we're waiting on those. So Kay's body should be here, which means my hands are going to be full. Lamoon obviously will not be getting here until June. But I don't like overwhelming myself with too much stuff, and I obviously have enough other projects, and on top of that, I have to deal with my hands, and pain, and yada yada. Besides that, so I know some of you probably saw on Instagram, but I had a nice fun time drawing Tiber's fucking face last night. Tiber is Case X. There's mirroring storyline there. Kay is another undead cyborg because Tiber's a bad person. And the thing is, so with all of this, like, these are relationships that had massive levels of issues from getting out the gate, like before that even. My system and the people in it are full of a lot of people that attract to people they should not be with and feed off of that steam endlessly. And the thing is, as I've said, this is also part of my brain's way of dealing with stuff that I have been in, have put myself through, my own inclinations. Because, like, I'm a very, very intense person when I actually am with somebody, which is why I'm so selective about the people I'm actually with, because I'm polyamorous. Um, and why BB and me are going on 10 years as of this July. Oh my God. It's been a decade of being together. And thank God for this Libra motherfucker because he balances me out so much. All the puns intended. Um, but like, normally the people that I usually am into are extremely intense pains in the asses. And the thing is, over through the span of my life, I've had to learn that like I'm very attracted to relationships that are like, if anybody has seen Parks and Rec, um, Ron and Tammy too is like, that's like dreamboat shit for me. And fucked up behavioral pattern things like if you've seen Hard Candy, that messed up dynamic right there. So I'm in kink and I've taught classes and I'm a huge massive consent person, and so throughout my life I've just learned like these things can be done consensually during the span of like play and understanding with one another and communication. And that's why I'm also very selective about the people I see and date and yada yada, because if somebody cannot communicate their emotions with me or what they're thinking or feeling
or what their boundaries are,
or what their boundaries are, we do not. It's not going to happen, like, period. And I've had plenty of moments where I'm like, well, maybe they'll come around and explain things. But it's like, when they don't, I just go, no. And this doesn't mean like somebody has to hand me a textbook, because back in the day, like, that was the way a lot of people, the way I rolled, a lot of other people rolled, because we had so much shit to cover. And nowadays, I'm more the person being like, oh, you want to play with me? Well, there's a thing called stoplight, which is red through green. Red means stop. If you say red, I'm stopping on a fucking dime, and that's it. Like, there will be no continuation until we have discussed it, etc., 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 unless you are the type of person that says red and then needs 2 seconds and then goes, okay, green, go. Do the stuff. And so, like, a lot of people, it's hard for them, because they're still sorting themselves out, understandably. I've been, figuring this stuff out for myself since I was, like, a preteen, so, and I'm 35 now. For a lot of people, like, it takes a lot to understand yourself like that, and I'm not saying people obviously can't make mistakes or learn things or, like, have something happen and go, okay, that was too much for me, or that was too little, or whatever. But because I specifically am a very bratty, snarky, pain in the ass sadomasochist, and I hang out with and deal with predominantly that, you run into people that can be responsible with that. There's an anagram, prick, which is personally responsible, informed, consensual kink, and that's one of my preferred ones. Everybody has different anagrams that they use. But that's my preferred one, because it's about you taking care of yourself, being as informed as fuck, and also going, if somebody that you're going to be messing around with, you're just like, you give me vibes, or you give me shady feels, or you're not being clear with me, or this doesn't feel right, or whatever, you get the fuck out. You go, no, sorry, we'll talk later, or we won't. But it forces me to constantly be as responsible for myself as possible, and it's also been teaching me that I can't be responsible for everybody else, because the thing is, I do a lot of topping and handling scenes and situations, and that means that I feel like I have to handle everything, and that's not healthy. So, kink rant from out of nowhere. This is because of the hangout we had last night and a lot of the conversations that were had. But yeah, so we'll see if I get my Grail doll. If I do, I may, like, pull my face off because of just the sheer of it. We might go see Annihilation in a short bit, which will be nice. I might have a client tonight. I'm not sure because of the snow. I don't see why I shouldn't, but we'll see. Because it's a disability puppy, so I don't want to be making him work with this. And that's about it. Short. Not that short of an update. It was like a half hour for me. That's short, though. So, we will see y'all around. I will try to update again soon. Work has just been keeping me crazy busy. It's the point where, like, I usually try to take only 4 clients a day, and I have, like, 6 tomorrow, and that's my own doing. But, like, yeah. Anyways, bye, all. Kettle and her little bunny. Say bye. And I would bring Coquette up here, my pinky, to say bye, but she's like, oh, my face isn't done yet, so. See y'all later.